Hi guys, welcome back to Transits and Tactics. An interesting transit now. We are in the gate that sits in the Ajna center, is the center of the mind, right? So we are thinking, we are logical, we are looking for solutions. And this is gate 4, which is called a gate of youthful folly. And this is so cool because I actually had to, because English is not my first language. I thought to myself today, I need to really know what that means, and I went in and I loved how the idea of being called youthful folly is basically when you're called like you're immature in the way of thinking, you're inexperienced in a way of thinking, you're foolish in a way you're thinking. And because I have this gate in my chart, in fact I have the whole channel 63.4, it was very interesting for me to research and look deeper into the energies of this gate and what it brings and how everyone else is also affected, which could be very familiar energy to me. And so indeed it was, because gate 4 is always about, like, you must have your mind active, looking for solutions. You're always reasoning, you're always trying to find out why is this, why is that, and how can this move forward, because this is a forward looking gate. And it's true, it's the story of my life. Everything, like, even my daughter, she always tries to say something to me. She's like, Mom, too many solutions, not enough listening, because the mind just goes straight into solving the problems. And where the shadow of this gate can be is you're trying to solve just about anything, whether it's relevant to you or not. So watch this week and be mindful of what is it that you're trying to get into, because gate 4 is a kind of this fixer energy, and anything that's handed to you, whether it's a drama, a question, a real problem, or a crossword, you will just like jump in and love nothing more but to solve it. But if it's not yours, if it's not correct for you, first, you're wasting your time. Secondly, or if you don't have anything to focus on in this very high mental activity week or transit, you might feel anxious. So take a leaf out of my book, go study something, go plan, just outline. You don't have to take action, because not everything we're thinking about needs to be taking action upon. And I think that gate 4 is really that one of those gates. And maybe that's why there is a little warning, like it could be foolish to act on it. Watch those thoughts and observe them, and maybe listen to your strategy and authority whether anything needs to be done with it, but also be aware that you might be dragged into something that is just not really necessary or very, very temporary. It's so interesting because Mercury is retrograde now as well, so it's again this clarity of mind, and the mind is very active, researching and revisiting. I find that anything with repairing, revisiting, restoring, anything with and it's real, very, very clear mind. I love Mercury retrogrades. I'm very controversial. I feel like everybody's like, oh no, Mercury is in retrograde again. Yes, I've lost a lot of electric equipment over the years to the retrogrades, to Mercury retrograde, but I love what it does. It gives you responsibility in a way for attention to detail, which I normally honestly don't have. And so, yeah, so this is kind of like coinciding with this gate 4. Couple of things as well. So if you have an open ajna center, which half of the population has, be aware you can be tricked that you have all the solutions in a perfect way. Because remember, when you have an undefined ajna, you're not born for certainty, but in your shadows, in your conditioning, you will be always looking for certainty. And so this could be a very, tricky sort of energy in disguise, making you feel like you have certainty, where really, in fact, you are not born for it. You're born for adventure. You're born to go. And I'm going to be like really crude saying fuck around and find out is how you should be, embracing life, because this is going to be much healthier, and you will gain the wisdom of experiencing life in many, many ways, rather than trying to get this one certain way, right? So if you do have an open ajna or undefined ajna, just observe your thoughts. So and it could also be connected to some anxiety from the past, whatever you're focusing on. Don't act impulsively. Just observe this. It's very interesting as well that this gate is to do with relationships. And I was just listening to a contemplation, Gene Key's contemplation on the fourth Gene Key by Richard Rudd, and it hits the nail on the head. He was talking about love and relationships, and talking about the fact that we want to understand everything mentally is immature. Because if you step back, the first thing, and he said, and I'm going to quote this, we're not going to understand anything until we understand love. When we truly open our heart, our minds see so much further than when our hearts are closed. And just because I got married last week, and so I'm truly in love right now, and I felt it just really landed for me in the right place. Because it's true, when we fall out of love, when love starts getting less, that's where the questioning starts. That's where we can start getting annoyed with everything, with little things. And with gate 4, the programming partner, or the grounding gate, and it's now in Earth as well, is gate 49. And gate 49 has this reactive, provocative, intense energy. It sits in the emotional center, solar plexus, and it can be like a really extreme, like love, divorce, marriage, divorce sort of energy. So when the person is close to us, when we start picking on these little things, it could be very, like, negative emotions could be very, you know, strong, let's say. I grew up observing that kind of behavior with some adults in my life, and it's not pretty. And so I feel like maybe it's because I have the whole channel. This one of the like stories of my life is to observe this in others and observe it in me. And when it feels like I am now getting annoyed or fixated on trying to solve something in someone, the lesson here is to step back and allow this love to happen. And that's personal life. But relationships, marketing is all about relationships. And in relationships with clients, relationships with your audience, relationships with individual members in your audience that maybe said something or something, it's really, really important. And I think that this week is, again, stepping back, observing thoughts rather than being caught up in your thoughts is key. No matter what your design is, this is the influence you're going to experience. And so just trying to act from a place of accepting and being and observing and loving, rather than picking on things and getting your mind fixate and then get some sort of solution that might not even be needed. That's the way I am experiencing this. Anita, what is your feedback on this week?
Oh, yeah, I think this is brilliant energy because it can be from the perspective of manifesting your biggest bugaboo. How many people at the moment don't really know where to go with their business, don't really know how they want to adapt it moving forward. So that not knowing will drive this gate, this energy crazy, seeking solutions. But as you said, in relationship with the other, outside of themselves, and not realize that the most powerful resource of their mental solutions is within. So connecting in, mental solution is nothing on its own. It's only if it connects and resonates with you that it'll move you forward, right? So this can cost you a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of energy, where you see people now going, I don't know what my purpose is anymore. Things have changed so much. How am I designed to contribute? And why am I doubting myself all the time? Because that works with this energy as well. So it's a very real, very human experience of, you see it with all these kids now coming out of college. I don't know what to do next, because it's time to create their life next. But they've learned through relationship to be dependent on others in so many different ways. So this energy is a superb ability. It's Leo energy, remember. So it's, where do I shine? How do I shine? And how do my solutions shine? And with that connection to the solar plexus, how can I make sure that I'm not attached to it, to shine in a specific way or a particular way? Because that can crush the joy in things when you get so attached to the relationship that's supposed to sustain you. So think about it, your client. I need my clients because they're how I make money. I need to shine because that's how I make money. Yeah, it is how you make money. But being attached to it, you start developing loads of mental and different ways of doing it that take you away from your flow. So it's like, and it's where perfectionism lies because it's connected to doubt. I know doubt, the 63, because this is my Chiron. When someone tells me a different solution, I kind of go, ooh, ooh. And my first go to has been to doubt myself. Ooh, am I doing it wrong? As opposed to turning around and going, ooh, that's interesting. I hear you, but it doesn't resonate with me, or it does. It doesn't matter. So this energy is a superb. We all have our own way of processing our mental solutions. And so when you can stay connected with your decision strategy with respect to it, that's where the solutions become um, active and vibrant. And that's where they become really, as Juliette said, sometimes when it's not our solution, we need to be careful. So that's where our timing comes in. That's where we ask, are you open to another suggestion, or rather than diving in and interfering in everybody's lives. And I don't know about you, I have a 5-1 already in my profile. So the way I relate, I'm a solution fiend, guru, fanatic. So I have to very much play these energies so that they're in harmony rather than
Mm.
getting out of sync. So yeah, this is huge this week.
It's so beautiful because here's the key, just what you just mentioned. When you know, when you understand your human design, and you really don't need to go too deep, you don't need to become an analyst, you don't need to know what every gate means, but when you understand slight top level, so of course your strategy as an energy type, how you're interacting with the world around you, how you're interacting with people, and of course your decision making authority, so key, right? Whether it's an inner authority, outer authority for a small number of people. But it's also about the personality, and the personality is your profile. Yes, you have lines after all the other gates as well, but this is the 70%, or even more so if you think about the incarnation cross. So this is a huge percentage of how you are. So when you know, say Anita just said, I'm a 5-1, she has a fifth line. Not only it's a very like practical solutions oriented, but it's a line that tends to condition others. It lives in the projection field, and it's a subject, like people project at it, but it projects just as much, and conditions others, and tends, if a person doesn't understand that they need to wait for the right timing, and the solution needs to be not only timely but practical, and just given and stepped away, not like go fix people, go, and we can be driven by this energy. And I think that this week this could be even more intense. So yes, sometimes you will feel with your inner authority, or with your authority, you will feel the clarity that this is the time to take action. Because the transit is just a transit. It intensifies an energy, but you still have your decision-making mechanism inside, whatever it is, if you are able to observe, because human design is not like, here's the sort of Bible in quotation marks, here's the rule books, this is what you need to adhere to. No, it's just about observation of your natural traits, so you can give yourself permissions to follow these traits, right? And so with this, all these transit influences, yes, some things intensify, and we get affected. I still, a few weeks back, when gate 39, gate provocation, I probably will never forget how I came to Anita, said, I don't want to do these anymore, and she was laughing, saying, this is the energy of the transit, Juliette. It was so cool, because sometimes we get dragged in, and it's fine, we're humans. It's not about right or wrong, but it is about a mental note. And then you could stop and say, hang on a second, you know what, I'm gonna pause here and I'm gonna adjust. So this week you're gonna get into your mind is so busy, and it's gonna get hook up on anything it can solve, right? It might not be yours, so you can redirect that mental activity. Study, get a new book, get it something to do the crosswords, if that's your thing. Get your mind focused on something, so you don't get dragged into other people's drama, or don't create drama in your own life, because whatever you're thinking, it is future oriented, because solutions are always like, how can we move forward, right? But it might not be the right direction. So a good balance, I think, is required this week. And focus on love, focus on just being, focus on the questions like, what if there's no need to have a solution? What if we can just, let go of this and just be and open our hearts? Because you mentioned something when you were saying, Anita, about manifestation and how we get hooked up on, for example, I need clients because, yes, A, I want to help people, B, I want to be feeling on purpose, C, I want to have money to live. And that C is the very important thing why we do it as a business. Let's just be so honest. This is nothing wrong with admitting this to ourselves first, right? Because otherwise it's too hard. Business is not easy. Not let's have no illusions about it, right? If we don't need to make money, we don't need to do it as a business and create so much pain in our lives. Because this is not nothing to do with whether you're super on purpose and super aligned, you're still going to struggle with some things in your business because it's nothing to do with your human design. It's just like a bunch of activities you might not enjoy doing. And with that, I find that every time, and I call it selfish marketing, focus within, just what you're saying. Don't focus on the outside. Do things for yourself so that you can shine, so that other people can be attracted to this light and become your clients. And the more you focus on them and doing it so that they get attracted to you, the less power, the less shine, the less light you're shining.
Mm,
It's
that-
not light, it's noise.
yeah.
You're polluting the world.
Yeah, that is so true. It sets up desperate dating energy. So it's classic if you're looking for that relationship or if you're looking for that healthy relationship with work or whatever, the best way to engage this is to stay open to wonder and curiosity. Okay, this isn't working. I wonder what may work instead. And this is what engages the universe. And this is what engages other people to imagine, instead of you should do this and you should do this, which really drives people crazy, right? Move to, I wonder, is there a different way of doing this that brings the result that you need or want rather than, and now it's open as opposed to dictative or predictive. And it's massive energy. Open to wonder is the best way to or
It's
think.
so true. And any advice you can get a little bit. You can get just a little bit of how would I put it? You can get a hint of something that works for you through that, but you don't have to follow through to a T. You
Yeah,
can take just something because that wandering mindset is about, oh, maybe there's a my way of doing things. I recently wrote an article and it was called I bored myself while recording this. And it was a client of mine who shared that, they were giving a strategy to record some videos and she bored herself recording the videos. And I loved it. And I'm so inspired because that's what we do so often. And that's exactly what is in the way of success, I think.
mm,
So, guys, watch your busy minds this week. Observe, make decisions that are aligned with you and what really matters. And don't just jump on any sort of solution that you want to provide, because this is the energy of the transit. The transit will pass, but then you will have to face the consequences of what you've done. What have you done this week? We will see you in the next episode of Transits and Tactics. And thank you so much for being with us every week. Bye.